So, welcome back. I'm sitting here with Evil. And if you've been watching the show, you know that she's just getting worse and worse. And the last segment, I was telling you about what a psychic said to me. First of all, she actually had a vision during my psychic reading and said that she told me that, well, she asked me if I had a doll in the dining room, and then she described the dolls. And so then I knew, I finally put two and two together. All the activity that I've been experiencing has been attributed to this doll. But she said that after I about fainted from her telling me and describing this doll, she said that the entity wants to cause me harm. And she further went on to say that my mom is afraid of this doll. Now, my mom has passed on. My mom is deceased. I have her urn and ashes in my dining room. This doll's maybe 10 feet away. And the psychic said that my mom, who's deceased, is even afraid of this. She's afraid of the entity that's attached to this, that it may attach to her. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. That never even crossed my mind that my mom, I mean, she's already dead. What else can it do to her, right? But not only that, my mom is afraid of it, and my mom wants me to get rid of this doll as well, for both of us. So the psychic went on to say, and I really do have a strong belief in this psychic. She's really a gifted psychic, and I trust what she's saying. So the day that I bought the doll and the tantrum that went on in the front store and the lady that was causing havoc, that was all caused by the entity. She said that it was trying to distract me from the negative energy so that I wouldn't notice what I was buying. It was a ploy to get me to buy it, and I did. So most recently, when I was getting ready to come to the show, and I was really afraid actually to go over and handle her after what the psychic had said. Because like I said, I've already been experiencing this activity, but now I knew where it resided. So when I got the doll and I was getting ready to bring her here, her eyes darted at me twice. And I'm talking from straight on, she went really quickly to look at me on several occasions. Now, as for the doll, it's like, so basically, ever since the psychic told me that there was an entity attached to it and to get it out of my house, and not only should I get it out, my mom wants it out of the house. So I took it to the garage and I put it in the garage for now. And so we really don't, the other doll that I got, she seems okay. There's nothing wrong with her. She doesn't have an entity attached to it. But now we don't know, what are we going to do with it? And I asked the psychic that. I said, so what should I do with it? We're still thinking about what to do with it. We did the one thing, which is to get it out of the house. I don't consider my garage part of the house. It's not living quarters, and that seems to work. It's not the only thing that, anytime I have anything to get out of the house, it goes to the garage. We put it in a sealed container, and we keep it there. But she said, do not destroy the doll, because the energy, the negative entity that's residing in this doll would be released into the environment and will attach to someone or something else. So it's best to at least know that it's in this doll. And then ethically, you can't just, sell the doll without telling someone, that it has an entity. I mean, that's just ethically wrong. So right now, I'm keeping it in the garage until we figure out the best course of action. So technically, it's out of the house, it's out of sight, it's out of mind for now. Now, since we brought the doll here today to the studio, one of the guys that works here actually saw the doll. His name's Wayne. And Wayne saw the doll blink at him here in the studio. So we're going to try. We got a few minutes left on the show, and I brought some equipment. We have a K2, which I've had on all along. This measures EMF, electromagnetic fields, which ghosts are thought to be made up of. So far, when you turn it on, it's off. When you turn it on, it always goes all the way to the red and back, and that's just the on light. The stronger the energy, the higher the light, okay? But it doesn't mean, this is not foolproof. There are false positives, and basically, this doesn't necessarily mean that the entity's not here right now. It could actually be, it could have left the doll and be over here somewhere. And so it's not showing any activity with the K2, but I've had it on the whole show. Now, let me turn on the Ovilus 3. This has a word dictionary in it. I think there's like 500 words in it. And a spirit, an entity, whatever, it's speaking. Every time you turn it on, it says dictionary mode because that's the base mode that it's in. An entity, a spirit, can actually use this. It just said light, and we were just talking about light. So I'm going to leave it sitting here like this so I can see what it says. And now, a spirit or entity or whatever can utilize this dictionary and pull words out of it to speak with us. So I'm going to leave that on. I got the K2 on, and now we're going to use a pendulum. I've been using this a lot on the show. It's very inexpensive. I hate to say that we were joking before the show. It just said D, the initial D. And we were joking before the show, one of our cameramen, his name is Dan. And Dan is a skeptic. He doesn't believe in this stuff. And I was saying, well, what if it says Dan? What if it comes up Dan? And he's like, well, it could be any Dan. You know, a skeptic, they're going to have an excuse for everything. But it just said D, and it's probably indicating Dan. Of course, he's not going to believe that. But we are going to ask some questions now. So poor Wayne was witness to the doll blinking at him. So everybody wants me to ask that. Okay, let me just tell you how this works too. Okay, I'm gonna hold it still. If it swings forward and backward, that's a yes, as if I'm saying yes. And if it swings this way, no. But it always, when the energy comes in the room, it'll start spinning like this. And the stronger the spin, the more energy that's there. So I'm going to hold this as steady as I can, and we're going to ask some questions. Got a couple minutes, so I really want to, this will be the only time I talk to this doll. It's not really good that I'm opening a line of communication with something that's called evil. So I'm going to hold this pendulum as straight, as still as I can. It said holiday. Okay, it's starting. I'm going to try to hold this really steady because I don't want people to think that I'm making it move. Okay, it's starting to spin. The energy's coming in the room. Okay, the energy from this doll. Okay, so evil. I want to know, did you blink at Wayne? We're waiting on an answer. It's still trying to figure. Now, sometimes it literally won't answer. It doesn't want to. Can anybody, it still looks like it's spinning and not really. Do you know who Wayne is? It's saying no. No. Okay, let's ask another. We're all going to ask all these questions about Wayne. Okay, so do you want Wayne to be your new owner? Do you want Wayne to be your new owner? Oh gosh, it's saying no. One more question before we run out of time. So Wayne, you're off the hook. Doesn't know who you are, don't want to come home with you, but here I'm going to ask the question I really don't want to know, but I'm going to ask it. Do you want to harm me? Nothing's happening. It's barely spinning. Is your purpose to harm me? Human. The ovilist said human. Exactly, that's exactly what, but we're going to wait and see what this says. It's the final answer. Right here, it's spinning. It just said human, which is probably meaning, I said, do you want to harm me? And it doesn't want to harm me, it wants to be me. And that's what the ovilist just said, human. And we're waiting on the answer. Do you want to harm me, evil? Let's hope it doesn't say what I'm waiting just like you for an answer. You better answer quickly because we're out of time. What is your answer, evil? You're not going to answer? It's spinning wildly. It doesn't want to answer. It did say human on the ovilus. Okay, here we go. It's starting to wind down. It finally said no. It finally said no. Thank you. Thank goodness. I don't know who it wants to harm, but it says it doesn't want to harm me. It could be lying. Don't ever trust. Muse. It said muse. Okay, so we've run out of time. Thank you so much for watching the show. This has been the Evermore Paranormal Network. Until next time, peace out. So in the end, what have I said is only that I'm sure. For all I know about this place is that I call it Evermore.